Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 31. Hi friends. Welcome to the Valentine's Day episode. I found my pink love sweater, repurposed some Christmas earrings, made myself a scrunchie last night. Oh, I made it, and I even filmed it. Gonna make a scrunchie. Now it's a scrunchie. I'm ready to party. So welcome to my Valentine's Day party. You're all my Valentines today. Listen, any excuse to dress up and to celebrate something, I will take it. So I hope you enjoy my festiveness. Unfortunately, all of my whips are not Valentine's Day themed. I was even gonna do a Valentine's Day stash dive today. And I was digging through my charts and I was like, I don't have anything Valentine. So I'm gonna need to remedy that. But I do have a lot of good stuff to show you guys this week. A lot. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about this week is project bags. In case you missed it, on Wednesday, I put out my project bag tutorial, more of a walkthrough of how I put together my bags. And it has been so well received. Thank you guys so much. So far, everyone seems to think it's super easy to follow, and so many of you, like more than 10 at this point, have sent me pictures of bags you've completed using the tutorial in just the last 5 days, which is making my entire week. I love it so much. If you make one of these, please tag me on Instagram or email me a picture because I love it so much. And I'm like so jealous of some of you guys' fabric. And I'm like, wait, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Yeah. So anyways, I'll post a link to the project bag video maybe up here on the screen and then down in the description box. So if you haven't checked it out and you want to make one, yeah, check it out. Also, big thank you to all the love on last week's Flosstube video where my mom came back and joined me. She has been a quilting machine. She's already made a new quilt top this week and is like halfway through stitching the Silver Creek sampler, my Christmas list. So I'm gonna have to have her back on soon to show off some more progress because she is doing so many things. I'm gonna link my mom's Instagram down below. She started posting her cross stitch and quilt whips on Instagram. So if anyone is interested in keeping up with what she's working on, I'm gonna link her down below. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Okay, so I am gonna start this week with a finish. So you might remember a couple of weeks ago when I showed you guys my progress on The Visitor by Blackberry Rabbit. And I was like, I think if I just spend like 4 more hours on this, I can get it done. And then I didn't work on it for a couple of weeks. So last Sunday, after I finished my video, I was like, I really want to finish this and frame it. And so I did. And it really only took like 2 more hours of work. I was so close. I didn't realize just how close I was to being done with it. So I finished it and I framed it and I love it. Here it is. Blackberry Rabbit, The Visitor. Zoom in on the stitching a little bit. This is just one of those projects that just came together perfectly. I found this frame for $6 in the clearance aisle at Hobby Lobby. My Hobby Lobby framing department told me a tip which I think all of you guys know because I think Lori Holt has mentioned it in her videos, which is to go check the clearance section for custom sized frames that have been made by the framing department, but then people didn't pick up. And so they get discounted like 90% because I think this was a $66 frame and I bought it for $660 or something like that. And it is actually a standard size. It's an 8x10, but it was custom made for somebody and then they didn't pick it up. So I picked it up and I think it matches this design so beautifully. I love it so much. I did take a little video of myself framing this, so I'll start putting that in here as I talk a little bit more. I stitched this on a 40 count Seraphim fabric Dusty Road, and I used all of the called for overdyed flosses and DMC. There was DMC and overdyeds from Weeks, Classic, Gast. It's all the flosses and it takes quite a bit of them. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like it looks like a watercolor, like one of those, you know, just like botanical watercolors. Yeah, I'm in love with it. And I did so this was an idea I got from watching Lori Holt, which I don't know why I never thought about it before, but she talked about framing and putting scrapbook paper on the back of a frame. And I was like, oh wait, this one's 8x10. And I have, you know, 12x12 sheets of scrapbook paper. So I use that to close up my frame, which is so cute. I still need to attach my hanging hardware and decide where on my gallery wall in the dining room this is gonna go, but I love it. Visitor. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I worked on this week, and I did jump around a lot. I don't know why I couldn't get in a groove with just one thing, but I kind of went all over the place. So I've got a lot of whips, and I don't know how much progress I got on each one, but I'll show it to you anyways. So ever since I went back to work in January from the Christmas holidays, I have loved just having a project sitting on my living room coffee table that I can work on at lunch. So I work from home right now while the pandemic is still raging. And so I work at my dining room table and then I take a lunch break. It's never at the same time because I have meetings that fluctuate. That's boring. But I take a lunch break every day and I sit on my couch. I turn on an episode of like Parks and Rec, or what else have we been watching? Seinfeld. Like we just put on an episode and I stitch and eat my lunch and just like unplug for an hour. And I have loved just keeping a small, easy to stitch project on the couch just for that purpose. And I've been making a lot of progress. So for the past few weeks, or 2 weeks, I don't know, my project has been the Hip Hop Chockful by Hands On Design. And this is just so stinking cute. And here is my progress. They're so cute. I've got 2 of the bunny heads in. I worked more on the jar and some leaves. And yeah, I just put, you know, a few strands in each day at lunch. And I have a feeling that probably next week I'll have this done. I don't know. If I just work on it at lunch, maybe it won't be done next week, but it'll be pretty close. But this one's still, you know, unfortunately, we're having like a snow event right now, like an ice. I mentioned how it never snows in Texas. And then like 4 or 5 weeks ago, we had a crazy snowstorm. And now this weekend, we're literally like iced into our homes. It's 20 degrees outside, which is bananas. And it's not going to get above freezing till like next Friday. So like not only are we like pandemic quarantine trapped, but now we're just like ice trapped. And we have food, but like I'm gonna be so sick of chicken breast and pasta by Thursday. Anyways, what I'm saying is I don't need to have this one done in the next couple of weeks. It's not spring yet, but I'll get it done soon. Okay, so next up I had a new start, and it's one that I told you I really wanted to start because I always wanted to have a project from the sewing club book going. And so I started A Bit of Summer out of the sewing club book. I'm sure you've all seen it. That's a sewing club book. And there is the little piece I started. And I had the called for 36 count sanguine with all the called for flosses. Let me see if I put this on a book, if that'll be better. And there's my little start. It's so pretty. The fabric color, that's pretty accurate. But then I'll show you the stitching. It's so cute. Yeah, so that's my little start. I kind of just always want to have a project from this book going because I think I want to stitch them all. So just, you know, just start stitching on them. So I don't think that I'm going to finish this as a drum. I think I'm just going to do it either as a long pillow or a little tiny framed sampler. I'm not sure. I'll decide when I finish it. But I made that one drum the early Christmas morning. It was not easy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll get brave and I'll make another drum, but this might just be a long, pretty pillow. Okay, next up is Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. So beautiful. So much fun to work on. It's on 36 count pictureless plus with all the called for flosses, and perfect, and I love it. I only worked on this maybe for one night, so I basically just worked on filling in that big pink house and adding more to the roof, and I added a few more letters, and yeah, so now I'm about halfway across the top, across the middle section, and I love this. I do want this finished by the spring, so I'm saying by probably the middle of March I want this one done, so that's a month from now. So I think I'm going to keep this in, like, firmly in the rotation and work on it a couple of days each week. So that'll meet my samplery goal to keep working on my samplers, and I really do want this one finished. So yeah, I think that's the plan. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep this out each week and see if I can get it done. Okay, and then the other sampler that I pulled out this week, because it's still samplery, even though I'm stitching on everything else, I still want to work on my samplers. This one I pulled out, I haven't stitched on, I think, since the end of September, so it's probably been a while since you've seen it. And this is Birds of a Feather, Sally Spencer, which that picture is really small, but this has been a pretty popular one. So I know there was a stitch along last year, so I'm sure you've seen this. So I started it as part of my sampler September, and I just decided to get it back out and get to work. And I love it. Look how pretty. Oh, I love the colors on this. It's like a red and a melon, like a corally color, white, two different shades of blue and black. It's just so pretty and so fun to work on. So the halfway point is right underneath that this third line that I've started working on. So I'm getting close to the halfway point on this. It's a pretty small one. It's only like 156 by 156. And yeah, I think it's looking so cool. I'm stitching this on 36 count vintage sand dune by Lakeside Linens. And I'm using most of the called for colors, but I did adjust a couple. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe only the black. I think the black was called for Black Crow and I used Blackboard. It's something very similar. But, oh, I did change. The white was called for Buttermilk, and the Buttermilk just blended straight into the Vintage Sand Dune. So I think I switched to Grits on the white. So, yes, love it. Okay, the last thing I worked on this week is my Mirabelia. I had a little Mirabelia mishap. And I don't know what to do about, well, I do know what to do about it. I just don't want to do it. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, and you're on Instagram, I'll link myself down below. I did a live, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday night. I had a free evening and I was like, I'm going to jump on live and see if anybody wants to chit chat while I stitch on my Mirabelia. And so that's posted on my Instagram page if you want to go watch it. It's like 30 minutes long. And I was just filling in white. And so I did that early in the week. And then Friday night, 2 nights ago, I pulled out my Mirabelia and I was like, I'm gonna stitch on this all weekend and get a lot of progress. And I put 2 strands of floss in and then realized that stuff was out of place. So first off, I'll just show you where my Mirabelia is at. So pretty, so pretty. But the problem is this whole oval of the different shades of purple right here nestled in the white, it's all down 1 stitch. It needs to be brought up 1 stitch. Because I started on this white fill-in over here that goes down between these 2 purple spots. And it's supposed to be 4 stitches of white, you know, stair-stepped, and I had space for 5 stitches stair-stepped, and I was like, what is happening? What is happening? Well, what happened is I started over here, I worked my way across here and down, and then I put in this oval, and I based it off of this purple here, and I just accidentally started 1 stitch down. Like I should have gone from this point over and 1 stitch up, and I didn't. And so now this entire section, which is this big oval right here, is now too low. And I keep looking at it and I don't think there's a way for me to fix it. I really want to. I do not want to rip out this whole thing. But I don't really think there's any way around it. And so I got really annoyed and frustrated and put it down on Friday night. And I was like, well, I'm not ripping it out right now. I want to stitch. And that's when I pulled out a Joyous Day and gave that some love. For all you Mirabelia stitchers out there, will you tell me, like, is there any way to fudge in a Mirabelia? Is this just gonna, I mean, if I try to just go with it, it's just gonna make the bottom of the dress wrong, right? So I think the only answer is to pull it out, and it's probably gonna take me an hour or 2 to pull it all out, and then several hours to put it all back in. So we'll see when I get to that. I don't know. This Mirabelia may be in timeout already, and I've only been working on it for 2 weeks, and I love it, so I don't want that to happen. Anyways, that's my Mirabelia update for this week. Not going great. I don't know how I miscounted. I'm so annoyed with myself. Okay, I'll stop complaining. Okay, so should we talk about quilts? Let's talk about quilts. Let me cheer myself up from the Mirabelia madness. So I did work this week on my Americana sampler quilt, and I made 2 12-inch blocks, and I want to show you them because they're so cute. The first one is this pretty block from Moda Blockheads 3, and I'll put the name of it on the screen. And I love it. It's just kind of a sawtooth star pattern, but with the fabrics arranged in this kind of color blocked way. And I just love how it turned out. So cool. And then the second one I made is this one, which is also another kind of sawtooth star variation. I really, really love a sawtooth star block. So yeah, I thought this was so cool. So this is actually from Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas book. And I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name on the screen. But this was done in Christmas fabrics as part of the vintage Christmas quilt, but I just did mine in my patriotic colors and love it. So those are the 2 blocks I made this week. Not quite as much progress on this quilt, but that's because I worked on another quilt that I'm going to show you. Oh, but before I move on to the other quilt, I did take a kind of in progress picture of all the blocks laid out just so I could start to see like what I have so far. And I still have a lot of blocks to make, but it's really fun to see them all laid out. So I'll insert the picture here for you to see. So while I was kind of thinking about what this episode would be about, I was like, oh, it's on Valentine's Day. I've got to go, you know, love themed and all that. I thought, I was trying to think about like, do I have any Valentines or love themed projects in the works? And the answer was no, except for one quilt. And I was like, ooh, I'm getting that out and I'm working on it. So if you watched my quilt in progress video from several months ago, I'll link it, then you'll probably recognize this quilt. It's called I Heart You. And wait, now is it I Heart You? I'm putting it up on the screen. You can see. I think it's called I Heart You. And it's by Then Came June and Pen and Paper Patterns, who are great quilt designers. And they did this kind of like holiday series of patterns, and this was a Valentine's Day themed one. And I loved it. So I started it 2 years ago, and I made 1 block out of the 16 and then stopped. Why? Why did I just keep, whatever. So I pulled it out and I got everything cut out and started working on some more blocks. And so I went ahead and sewed the 2 I have together to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Look how cute that is. Oh, this is the cutest quilt. I am using the called for Kona watermelon and azalea that the pattern used. And then I'm using Kona Snow as my background. And then I'm using, you can see it's a very subtle dot pattern. This is an old cotton and steel basic called Sprinkle. I don't remember the color name. I don't think you can get this fabric anymore. Unfortunately, I bought it a couple of years ago when I was getting all my supplies for the quilt. So there'll be 4x4 of these little heart bubbles. And so if you have an iPhone, like to me, this looks like when you press and put a heart on a text that somebody sends you. And I just love that. So I am making this one specifically to hang up on my wall and be more of a decor quilt rather than like a couch quilt, because this is only going to come out to be 55 by 61, which is a fine size, except that I'm 5'10" and I don't like a quilt under 6 feet because even when I'm stretched out or curled up on the couch, I want it, all over me. So if I was going to make this as a couch quilt and a snuggle quilt, I would make it bigger, but I'm just going to follow the pattern and do the 4x4, and it's going to hang up on my wall and be adorable. And so then besides those 2 blocks, I also started working on assembling more of the heart centers and working on some of the bubbles, and I have everything else cut out. So, oh, actually, okay, so I have it all in this big bucket. So here's all my backing fabric, not backing, my background of my little sparkle. What is this called? Just in case. Yeah, it's called Sprinkle. Ooh. Sprinkle Cotton and Steel Basics, but it's from spring 2015. Ooh, I wonder how I even found this in 2019. I don't know, but super cute. And then I got this fabric for the backing of the quilts, which is so cute. So cute. And then I got this as the binding. This is just Kona Curry, which will be the binding on this, which I think will be so cool. So I don't know, now that I have everything cut out and like have figured out how to start chain piecing everything, I think I'll probably just keep working on this. I don't know, I'm gonna keep it handy and see if I can get it done, because even though this is Valentine's themed, I'll put this on my wall any day of the year. It was beautiful. Okay, so I want to give a couple of shout outs to two really new Flosstubers who I have found and started watching I think over the last week, maybe one of them 2 weeks ago, but I forgot to mention her last week. But those two are Nikki Noodles. Nikki's Noodle? Nikki Noodles. Sorry, Nikki. I'm gonna link both these people down below, but Nikki Noodles on YouTube, on Flosstube, and she is in Australia, and she loves to stitch samplers, and she does great work. She has all kinds of cool stuff to show off. So if you know, love watching people show off samplers, I mean, I feel like she kind of stitches stuff that I like to stitch. Like she had a lot of sewing club projects that were really cool. I don't know. She's really fun, and I think you'd enjoy her videos. So I will put a link to her down below. She just has 2 videos out so far. I am waiting on the 3rd one. Okay, the other one I've watched recently is Stitches by Shelby on Flosstube, and she has just a few videos out, and she works on some really cool projects. She has like kind of a variety of some full coverage and some smalls, and she mentioned that I enabled her to get the sewing club book because I think she wants to do the tiny treetop sampler, so that's fun. I can't wait to see her progress on that. And oh, she's also working on the Liz Matthews Quaker Snowflakes, which I love, and I have a piece of fabric set aside for it. I bought the chart when it was on sale. So I'm definitely going to get to that one at some point. So I'll be interested in seeing her progress. But yeah, so I'll link both of those guys down below. So if you're looking for, you know, somebody new to go check out and watch, you know, go give them a watch and tell them that Elizabeth Ann can stitch. I can't even say my own name. Elizabeth Ann can stitch sent you, or just say Liz because that's too much to say. Okay, so should we do the giveaways from last week? Thank you guys so much for leaving all your wonderful, hilarious comments about marshmallows and bunnies, which led to a lot of discussions about Peeps, the Easter candy. I used to love some Peeps when I was younger, like teenager. I don't think I've had them since. I don't know if I would enjoy them now. Probably. I don't know. Maybe I need to try them again. So up for grabs was Mr. Marshmallow and the Easter Bunny Row. So the winner of Mr. Marshmallow is, let me consult my notes, Cindy Jenkins. God, I can't talk today. Cannot talk. I'll put your name up on the screen so you don't have to listen to me butcher it. Cindy Jenkins. Congratulations, you won Mr. Marshmallow. Next up is this flopsy one, Easter Bunny Row. And the winner of the Easter Bunny Row is Diane Cubido. Hopefully I'm also saying that one right. It seems like a Cajun last name. My family has some Moutons in it, some Thibodeaux. So hopefully I'm saying Cubido right. But here's your Easter Bunny Row. Congratulations, Diane. So Diane and Cindy, if you would just email me, and whenever we thaw out at some point next week, I'll mail these off to you. I wanted to do a little giveaway for this video. It's Valentine's Day. I'm feeling the love. So I'm gonna do a $50 Etsy gift card as a Valentine to one of you. All you have to do, we're gonna make it so easy. You have to be a subscriber and like the video and leave a comment, and you just have to use the word love. Just say love somewhere in your comment. That's it. It'll be super easy. And then next week I'll draw a winner and I'll email one of you a $50 Etsy gift card. Okay, like speaking of gifts and things, so we our cold, like icy stuff started on Thursday night, and so luckily I had already bought a Valentine's gift for Rob, which is really a really silly gift. I'll put a picture up if I can find it of what I got him. They're like, I always do like sleepwear themed things for him on Valentine's Day. I've gotten him like slippers, boxers, you know, just things like that. And then this year I got him these Valentine's themed joggers, which I think are so cute. And then I got myself a matching, Old Navy had like matching Valentine's pajamas. Anyways, it's very dorky. But luckily I had ordered that like a month ago. And so they're here, but I never got a card or anything to go with it. And we were talking on Friday and I was like, are you okay that I don't have a card for you? And he was like, I don't have one either. And I was wondering when I was going to get one. So we agreed that today, I mean, neither of us want to leave the house. I mean, I'm sure the roads are okay-ish if people are driving around on them, but so we were like, no cards, no wrapping. We're just gonna give each other our gifts. And then I was like, what can we make? I have these like frozen meatballs in the freezer. So we're just gonna like put on, you know, the crock pot and make frozen meatballs and rice probably. And I don't know, watch a movie, watch some sort of rom-com if I get my way. But yeah, so anyways, I hope everybody has, I don't know, something fun or relaxing or stitchy to fill their evening with tonight. I'm going to be stitching on the couch watching a movie after we exchange our silly gifts with no cards. And I don't know, that's going to be my night tonight. I really wanted a new start for Valentine's Day, but I don't know. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to start things, but I just get that itch all the time. And I have this basket of kitted up things that I just want to pull from. Actually, let me show you one thing that I really want to start. Okay, why is my ear so itchy? People say their noses get itchy in Flosstube. Oh, this ear. Cool story, Liz. This is Labor for Learning by Plum Street Samplers. And look how stinking cute that is. It is kind of in the style that she does on those like Heritage Sampler and like Betsy Ross Americana. I can't remember the name of them, but you know what I'm talking about, where there's like an urn on each side and the vines kind of climb up and over. But those charts are huge. And this one is like 108 by 118, which is practically a small. So I should just start it, right? I just love the colors on this. It feels so springy and summery to me. And I've got all the flosses in here. And I've got a giant fabric stash in those blue bins. So like, I don't know. Maybe I'll start this instead of facing the music and ripping out my Mirabelia. I'm like really doing anything to avoid that. Like, I think I'm just talking at the end of this video to avoid having to go start the rest of my day. But I have fun on these videos. So, I don't know, is that all I have to show you guys? I think that might be it. If you want to enter the giveaway, use the word love. And I think that's it. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing and doing all the things. I love you guys so much. And I also, why can't I end this video? It's fine. It's fine. Nope. There's like 5 of you still watching this. But it made me laugh so hard last week how many people commented, we're watching, because I made the comment that I was like, you know, it feels like, you know, 5 or 6 people are watching this until I get 400 comments, and then I'm like, ooh, more people are watching. But anyways, thank you for the laugh. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, even though sometimes I get like a little overwhelmed, but it's so much fun. This is just show and tell where I get to hold up the pretty things and be like, look what I did, it's upside down. Okay, it's time to end this video. So thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.